Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Commentaries by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently on chapter number 4, shloka number 14. Lord continues to narrate to Arjuna and give his wisdom. He says, Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spriha, iti mam yo abhichatani, karma bhirna sabadhyate. So God says, actions do not affect me, nor am I desirous of the fruits of action. Whoever knows me thus is not bound by action. So this is the mystery that God is saying. Most people are interested in fruits and that's why they do actions. Here God says he does it for fun. It's a leela. So these actions don't bind God and he is not desirous of the fruits of the action. It's just a sport. He has already owns everything. He's created this multiverse for ourselves and for the divine play. So therefore, the wise people try to identify God, try to connect with Him, and not be bound by the actions. He says, so who knows me is not bound by actions. Moving on to Shloka 15. Evam gyatva kritam karma पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कैर्मैव तस्मात् तत्त्वं पूर्वेह पूर्वतरं कृतम्. Thus, knowing, wise seekers of liberation in ancient times and even before them performed karma. Therefore, you too should similarly perform your duty. So, here God is guiding Arjuna that karma or action is needed by everybody, enlightened or not. Everyone should be doing actions, and here Lord is saying even liberated sages and saints of the past have been performing actions. Through that the stream of wisdom flows. We are helping in God's project by becoming instruments in the divine plan. For example, through action we are generating this knowledge, this wisdom of Bhagavad Gita from this satsang. So become an instrument, make this world a better place one day at a time. That is what Lord's direction is to all of us. Moving on to shloka 16, God says, Kim karma किम अर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्. Lord Krishna says, even wise men are confused about what karma, which is action, and a karma, inaction, are. Therefore, I will decisively declare to you the nature of karma and akarma, knowing which you will be free from the evils of the world process. How beautiful! What nice grace of God, how much mercy God has, because He is showing us these subtle differences, the subtle nuances where people get confused and make mistakes. Like Lord Krishna is saying, even wise men get confused. The ego comes in the way. They think they're too intellectual, or why should we be doing bhakti or devotion when we have all this wisdom, all this knowledge, etc. So there's a lot of confusion for even wise, what to speak of the ignorant people. So here God is saying, follow my directions, follow my advice, and you will be guided properly. Moving on to shloka 17. कर्मणो ह्यपि बोध्यं बोद्धव्यं च किम कर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः. One must understand the nature of karma which is action, vikarma, special action, and a karma, inaction, because truly inscrutable are the ways of karma. So here God is saying that we must understand what exactly is karma or action and what is vikarma, specialized action. So vikarma is a specialized action that results in negating the karma. Otherwise the karma is a potent seed, and anytime it will germinate, it will create its impact. So what Lord is saying is a karma is inaction. And how do we get to inaction? We get to inaction by relinquishing the fruit of the action, not to give up the action itself. So you continue to do the action, but you are not expecting any direct tangible fruit. You are not doing it for your own interest. It is selfless, like volunteer work. You don't get paid, but you enjoy what you do, etc., and you help the world. So that is what God is saying. A karma is selfless action, vikarma is specialized action, and karma is action. Moving on to the next shloka, shloka 18. Karmanya karma yah pashyed karmani cha karma yah sa buddhimanya manusheshu sa yuktah kritsna karma krita. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. He is a yogi, therefore, he has performed all that is to be performed. So, in action, and action in inaction. Very profound terms indeed. So, what does that mean? That when you are doing action, do it with not sticking to the activity of the action, but to do as if you are not doing anything. You are not interested in the results. You are putting in your best effort for God. It is your duty. So therefore you do it. You don't do it for selfish reason. And action in inaction. So inaction meaning it, you may be sitting apparently meditating or not doing any physical activity, but still you are inwardly connecting to God, and so that is a purified action. You are praying not only for yourself but also to help others. So these seemingly contradictory things of action and inaction have to be understood with wisdom. So you may be performing a lot of activities physically, but inwardly you may be not doing any action, or you may be doing inaction, not any activity at all, but you may be thinking of worldly things, so you are doing action. So it's a complex structure that needs to be properly understood. That's why Lord Krishna said even the wise get entangled in this. That's why we need teachers, gurus, enlightened sages and saints who can explain these deep mysteries to most people. Moving on to shloka number 19, God continues, Yasya sarve samarambah kama sankalpa varjitah jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. He whose undertakings are free from kama or desire and sankalpa meaning ego sense, and whose actions are burnt up by the fire of wisdom, such a person the wise call enlightened. Enlightened, self realized, God realized, Jivan Mukt. That is the person who has achieved that high state, who is free from desires. Kama. Kama is a great enemy. Desires are endless. So that's why it takes a lot of, it's a long journey. It takes practice and consistent effort. And over many lives, we have achieved this state where we are currently, that we are even listening to the Bhagavad Gita or enjoying the depth of it. So, that first of all, desires have to go away. Second of all, our ego sense has to also go away, that I did it, I am wise. Look what I have achieved, etc. That has to be totally annihilated. It is all thine, O God. This body is thine, this breath is thine, this world is thine, and we are here now and we will be gone whenever you want. So let us serve your mission, let us be your instruments in the divine plan. So then when we do selfless actions, then our actions are burnt up, our karma is burnt up and no longer generates birth and death. That's how you terminate the cycle. And those are the people that God is calling enlightened beings, self-realized people. Beautiful shloka indeed. The next shloka number 20. त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्ग नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः. Having renounced attachment to action and its fruits, he who is entirely and eternally contented and free from dependence, even though he may be engaged in action, does nothing at all. So this is inaction in action. The previous shloka we discussed. Here God is further giving us some color. He says, having renounced attachment to action, because there is no attachment behind it, he is doing it as an instrument of God. He doesn't care about the fruits, he doesn't want the results. So he who is eternally contented, he's already contented. There's nothing that he is going to achieve out of that action, and he is not dependent upon it. So therefore, whatever action he does, it's basically inwardly he is detached. He is not he engaged in action at all. Although physically it may appear that he is doing great work, as many sages and saints do. They write books, they do satsangs, they guide others, they do all kinds of things, but they do it for humanity, God's mission, and they don't want anything out of it. They have no personal benefit. They are simply doing it as part of the divine being and divine instrument in the divine plan. And therefore, although they are engaged in action, they are doing inaction internally. Moving on to the next shloka, which we will be covering, shloka number 21. We will cover that in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. I hope you're enjoying these profound shlokas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the wisdom of Gita is deeper than any depths of the ocean and higher than any mountain or the sky. Hari Om Tat Sat.